Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's really windy out here today, so probably going to get some wind noise in the microphone. It's when it gusts, there's just not much I can do about that. But I wanted to kind of pause from all the talk that's been going on this channel and everywhere else about all the things that's going on in the world today, good and bad, because I see more and more people commenting, whether it's on my channel or elsewhere on the internet, that they're depressed, they're sad, they're scared, because it's becoming more and more obvious that things are not going the way that people had hoped for. That, government is getting bigger and more controlling and all of these kinds of things that's just happening, right? And I try often to remind you, but I want to continually remind you that the one that's really in charge, we talk about the big brother, we talk about the new world order, and we talk about all the elites and all that kind of stuff that's trying to run the show. But in the end, there's someone else above all that's running the show, that has a plan in place. And that's our Father in heaven. And he's kind of, I guess you could say, enacted that plan. His plan is going through his son, Yeshua, him coming to this earth, him dying on the cross, him raising again from the dead, and all of the whole story there of his life, showing us how to live and to trust in him and to cling to him. That is all part of the plan, right? What we're going through now, it's part of the plan. Now, man gets his way sometimes and throws his little wrenches in everything, but a lot of times man forgets who's actually really the boss, who's really the one that's kind of running the show. And we need to remember that. And we need to remember that there may be slings and arrows thrown at us, but we have someone on our side fighting our battles for us, defending us. There is a shield between us and evil that is far greater than anything that this world can throw at us, than Satan can throw at us. And we need to remember that even though we may go through tough times, we were never promised that we would never go through tough times. We were promised that when we go through those tough times, he will be there, that he will be that rock to stand on when the waves are crashing around us, that he will be that rock, that cliff to hold to. And so we need to remember that. I wanted to read just real quick. Now, this is going to be a real quick one today. It's just a little kind of to reset ourselves, right? If you go to Deuteronomy chapter 20, let's start at about verse 3. And this is the priest speaking. He says, "Hear, Israel, today you are about to engage in battle with your enemies. Do not be cowardly. Do not be afraid. Do not be alarmed or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies and to give you victory." Don't be afraid, because it's not actually you out there fighting. I mean, we need to be ready. The Bible tells us that. We have to be ready. We have to know our scriptures. We have to be solid in communion with the Father and his Son through prayer, through fasting, all these kinds of things, because the world is becoming more wicked. The world is throwing more at us. But in the end, that final battle, that final thing that we have to go through, it's not really us fighting that battle, folks. It's actually him. And so I want you to remember that today and throughout all this stuff that we go through. Again, we may go through horrible things. There's no promise. And in fact, if you look throughout Scripture, every time his people had to go through something bad, he did not necessarily remove them from that bad thing. he helped them make it through it. He was there and guided them or gave them some protection getting through it, but they still had to endure it. They still had to go through the situation. And so that's the kind of stuff that we have to prepare for. It's not preparing for whether we win or lose. It's preparing for getting through to the end, which is exactly what Yeshua told us. He said, those that endure to the end shall be saved. We have to prepare to go through to the end. And that should be our focus, not the worry on whether or not we're, what's going to happen to us, because in the end, whether we survive this in a physical sense or we're taken away from here, we still will see victory. We still will see victory if you have, have him in your heart. Hide that word, the word, and it's not just this is the word. The word is Yeshua. You hide that in your heart, and you know what I'm talking about. Then we will make it to the end and see that glory someday. And what we go through here on earth, well, we're not necessarily promised, but there is a protection for us. And he is fighting those battles for us. And so we need to hold to that. Because the stuff that we're seeing happening around the world, it does look scary. The stuff we're seeing happen in the stock market and pandemics and wars and all of that kind of stuff, it does look scary. It looks bad. But there is a greater power than all of that. And that is who we have to hold to. Not worrying about if some man is going to save us here, or if some man is going to make us wealthy and bring back money, or some man is going to get us out of this or into this. We need to hold true to the one, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end, because that is who will be protecting us, not anything here on earth. And so I just wanted to remind you that, because a lot of times, this is anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. When you go through hard times, you see things happening around you, and you start to get a little down, start to get a little depressed, you start to get a little worried. And I'm here to tell you to not have no fear. Be strong, be courageous, because there is someone out there fighting your battles for you. You know that. I just wanted to remind you, folks, get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.